young girl, scarcely 16. Thanks to my parents, lots of places I've seen, but never a place that I love as well as my burgeo home 'neath the maiden hill. My burgeo home, that heaven of mine, the home of my parents, so loving and kind. I love them so, and I always will. And my burgeo home 'neath the maiden hill. The harbor's so pretty in the morning sunshine, as the seabirds and robins their sweet notes entwine. The fishing goes shiny in the water so still, here in my home 'neath the maiden hill. When I had trouble or if I was sad, I always found comfort from good friends I had. They knew that I loved them and I always will. And my burgeo home 'neath the maiden hill. My burgeo home, that heaven of mine, the home of my parents, so loving and kind. I love them so, and I always will. And my burgeo home 'neath the maiden hill. With her fishery failing, I may have to roam. Dear God, how I'd hate to leave my dear home, but each night in memory, sure I'll see it still. My burgeo home 'neath the maiden hill. My burgeo home, that heaven of mine, the home of my parents, so loving and kind. I love them so, and I always will. And my burgeo home 'neath the maiden hill.
Good evening. Welcome to This Week in Review. Tonight's stories include: students went back to school on Tuesday, statistics from Sandbanks Park, interview concerning the newly formed IAS committee, Pansy's Garden will be returning to the BBS lineup. These stories and more coming up after this.
I was up to that new place the other day. It's up by the new hospital. Oh yes, custom carpet. That's it. My son, you should see the stuff they got up there. They got all kinds and everything to do it with. Bessie, that's the wife. She's been keeping them on for ages to go up. Jerry, she said, it's not going to hurt you to go up and look around. So we went up. My son, I was amazed. The colors of paint you can get mixed up there is unreal. There's hundreds and hundreds of colors, the prettiest kind. And brushing rollers, my son, don't be talking. There's rollers that's lint-free, rollers of melomate paint, and brushes for painting counters. Well, I could go on and on.
It was back to school for students and teachers at A.J. Matthews School and St. John Central High this past week. Student registration was held at both schools on Tuesday. This year there are approximately 150 students registered at A.J. Matthews and 220 at St. John Central High.
You have a new science program, Innovations. Brand new, I haven't even looked at myself yet. The religion is new, it's almost all storybooks. Sounds very interesting. The only other teacher you're going to have this year besides me is going to be Mrs. Foote, Mrs. Beverly Foote. She's going to be teaching you art twice a week. Other than that, you're going to be stuck with me.
The preschool program will be getting underway around the beginning of October. This year there are 9 children registered for preschool. Sandbanks Provincial Park is not yet closed for this camping season. Sandbanks Provincial Park is open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday to Friday, and from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. The park is still open to campers as well. There is no charge to stay at the park now, but campers are still asked to register at the park office. You are no longer required to have a permit in order to visit the park this year. Anyone using the park is responsible for the removal of their own garbage. This season, Sandbanks Provincial Park saw 51,907 visitors and 601 campers. The number of campers is up 35% over last year when the park saw 446. This year, park officers did not have to spend any money as a result of vandalism. It is hoped that this will continue through the rest of the year. There has not been any noticeable work carried out around the Seafreeze property over the past week. The company that removed the machine shop and 2 of the tanks near the parking lot are out of town for 2 weeks. They should be back in Burgeo in a week or so, at which time the 3 tanks that still remain will be removed as well. Meanwhile, Crosby's Industrial Services are working to drain Bunker C and fish oil from the remaining tanks. Stay with us for more of This Week in Review coming up in just a moment.
Bessie wanted a carrot for the spare bedroom. She wanted a pretty rose color. She said, well, see, boy, when we got up there, they had so many pretty colors, she didn't know what to choose from. I swear they had 100 or more color samples there. Oh, man, it was unbelievable. Well, when we ended up, we bought enough carpet to do the old house. My son, the old place looks something nice now, painted carpet right through. Everything looks brand new. Bessie is right pleased. Come to think of it, I is too. Yes, sir, for your painting and flooring needs, go to Custom Carpet. You'll be so glad you did.
Over the summer, an Industrial Adjustment Service Committee was formed here in Burgeo. This committee held a meeting and a workshop this past weekend. I spoke with one of the individuals involved in the IAS committee. Speaking with me in the studio today is Larry Pickford, manager of the HRD office in Stephenville, which is also responsible for the CEC outreach office here in Burgeo. Welcome to our studio.
Thank you.
Recently, an IAS, or Industrial Adjustment Service Committee, was set up here in Burgeo. Can you tell us what this committee is?
Yes. This committee, the Industrial Adjustment Service, let's go there first, is a program of our department, has been around for quite a number of years. And this is a program that attempts to assist, could be companies, employers, or associations or communities. In the case of Burgeo, it's a community primarily, to look at issues that are facing their local economy and their labor market and try to find some solutions to them in a constructive way that'll have long-term benefits for the community. Now, it goes without saying, I've been aware, our office has been aware, everybody is aware of the particular issues facing Burgeo and lots of other communities in Newfoundland relative to the fishery. So we have, over the last several months, having done some work in Burgeo around looking at community issues, we came to the conclusion in consultation with local people that maybe the time had come to use the Industrial Adjustment Service for Burgeo. Now that we kind of know the shape of tags, now that we know, some things are better known to the community, and that maybe the IAS type process would be helpful to helping the community and the people get on with probably what is going to be a new circumstance, a new set of circumstances that the community is going to have to work in. So for those reasons, through an earlier committee known as the Community Advisory Committee, I recommended that we pursue the IAS route, and it was agreed we do that, and we have in the last couple of months set the committee up.
Okay, how were the members for this committee selected?
They were selected through community consultation. We consulted, because I have been working with a number of groups in the community. Our office has been working with a number of groups in the community over the last couple of years. So we had a pretty good feel for, who the partnerships might be, who the significant people might be, who would have an interest in and be prepared to work together to make this committee work and achieve some results, more importantly. So we did that using the local town council, the Development Association, and others, the union who represents workers here in the community, and some others to set out what the people we thought would best represent the broad interests of the community, and I think we've done that.
Okay, so how many members are on the committee?
Okay, I think there's there's 10 or 12. We have a representative of the town of Burgeo. We have a representative of the Development Association. We have a representative of the FFAW. We have a business representative, sort of like business at large. We have a zonal board representative, which is the Regional Economic Development Board. We have a representative of Seafreeze, which are still have a presence here in terms of their owners of the plant. We have a representative of the inshore fishermen, and we have a youth representative. I think I've covered them all there now. So that's the total number. Our outreach office sits in on meetings, and alternates. Each representative has an alternate, and they are encouraged to attend. While there's only one vote, if you will. So on occasion we can have 12 to 14 people there, easy. And then importantly, I should mention, we're represented, HRD is represented, and the provincial government is represented from their department, their new Department of Development and Renewal. So they have a representative that sits in, and that's important. So that's where we're at right now. We've had at least 3 meetings, and I have, with the consent of the committee, assumed a temporary interim chairmanship type role, and we're going to move into some new directions now in the next month. That'll see that change.
Okay, so are there any employees associated with this committee?
Employees, yeah, we have hired in the community an individual who was hired by the committee to assist with the administration of the committee. That's Tracy McDonald, and Tracy was hired from a competition that was held here locally, and she's providing administrative support to the committee, minutes, arranging meetings, making phone calls on behalf of the committee, and that kind of thing. So she's it's a part-time position. She'll be with the committee probably for its duration.
Okay, so how long is this committee set up for?
The committee at the current time has and let me mention that the IAS is not you won't find the IAS managing large monies. It's primarily a process that allows the community to look for its own solutions. So Larry Pickford won't be a big player in this committee. I'll help and I'll assist, but the main players in this committee are the committee members. They will, based upon their assessment of what we can do in Burgeo, then they will, through their decisions and through their work, they will then look to other government agencies, look to private sector sources to take matters in their own hands and see if there's things can be done that would assist this community get back on its feet. Right now, it has a budget of $12,000, which was entirely contributed to by HRD. We may, as we move along, get some contribution from the provincial government, because they do many times offer assistance with specific projects and that sort of thing. So for the moment, the monies that we have will mainly assist the committee to employ a permanent chair, because, as I said, my chairmanship was interim, and then get on with the business of seeing what can be done to assist the community to adjust and get back up on its feet and find new opportunities.
I understand that the committee is participating in a workshop this weekend. Can you tell us what the nature of that workshop is?
Sure. When we've met, and I have to commend the committee members, we have had three, as I say, about 3 meetings to date, probably 4 if you count the initial meeting. They have these committee members who are probably well known to many people, and we'll certainly, I don't have the names right at hand, but we'll make sure everybody should know who these people are, and I think your local newspaper has probably published that, and many of these people are known to people. But early on, it was suggested to me, and the committee came to the conclusion that in any type of activity you undertake in a community, whether it be burgeo or whether it be Stephenville or anywhere else, the task of trying to, get things done, trying to understand how you can best organize your community to seek out some new solutions to local problems is not easy. I mean, I know, because I've been working with many people in burgeo for the last 7 or 8 years, I know you've had local committees that have tried to tackle industrial development, community development, and it's tough. It is really tough, and it doesn't come naturally to people. There's people do their PhDs in this stuff, and they don't get it right. So the committee said, look, we think we'd like to have a day whereby we could better understand what do we need to do to work better together, not to take on finding whether you can get a new manufacturing facility or whether you can get a big employer in town, but simply how do we work together so that we can get things done, so that we're not rubbing one another the wrong way, so that we're communicating with our community, because it's no good to have this committee if nobody knows what they're doing. It's important that everybody understand what the role of this committee is. So they came quickly to that conclusion that they don't want to fall into that trap, and I commend them for that. So what we agreed to do was hold a day for the committee members and alternates to kind of think about what their role on this committee will be. And we've asked Tom Hutchings, who's the new zonal development officer for the Regional Economic Development Board, and Bruce Gilbert, who's with the Communications for Survival project, which encompasses burgeo, to assist us with that. And I'm excited that those two people agreed to do that, because they're going to be working in the community for some time yet to come. So they've agreed to put a little structure together, a little piece of work together that will help the committee look at their roles as committee members, their roles in the community, and their roles in terms of trying to assist the community to find some new solutions to what are some pretty difficult problems. So we've decided to do that tomorrow, Saturday, and I'll be meeting with the committee tonight. Now we have a committee meeting scheduled tonight, and we'll talk some more about that. And then tomorrow we'll do it, and hopefully from there we hope then that the committee members will feel comfortable in their role, will be aware of their position as a committee member, and also be aware of how we relate to the community at large. Because it's really important that this not be seen as a kind of group that meets in secret and do some things and nobody ever knows about it. So that's what we're about tomorrow.
Okay, Mr. Pickford, well, we'd like to thank you for coming in and speaking with us today.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Our guest today is Larry Pickford, manager of the HRD office in Stephenville. Be sure and join us here on Channel 10 Saturday morning for the season premiere of Pansy's Garden. Pansy will be returning to BBS along with Marie and Melissa on Saturday morning at 11 a.m. for the first show of this season. This year promises to be as fun-filled and exciting as last year, with lots of fun crafts that Marie will show us how to make and great stories that Melissa will read for us. It's going to be a great year of crafts, stories, and fun. We hope you'll join us Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Saturday is the first day of the big game season for this year. If you're going moose or caribou hunting this coming weekend, please keep safety in mind. Do not carry loaded weapons. Wear brightly colored reflective clothing. Road hunting on the highway is not permitted if it impairs the regular flow of traffic. And remember your hunter identification card. It's mandatory that you have this card in your possession while hunting. Have a safe hunting season and good luck. Stay with us for more of This Week in Review coming up in just a moment.
Just a minute now, Bessie's singing out to me. Oh, yes, it's Bessie. What say, old dear? You're going up to custom carpet, look for some borders and paper to match your new carpet. Wait for me, because I'm coming too. I love to go up there. Yes, sir, custom carpet is some nice place. If you don't know what I'm talking about, your neighbor do. Got to go now before Bessie goes and leave me. Wait for me, Bessie, because I'm going to custom carpet too. Yes, sir.
Off the Rack. This week as we scanned our tape racks, we came across a video that was filmed on board one of the trawlers that was stationed here in Burgeo. This video originally aired September 16th, 1990. BBS Playbill. Tune in on Tuesday at 7 p.m. for a rebroadcast of The Coasters from the Sand and Sea Festival. Try your luck on Wednesday at 7 p.m. by playing Lioness TV Bingo. You might be the next $300 winner. But remember, you can't win if you don't play. Join Pansy, Marie, and Melissa on Saturday morning at 11 a.m. for Pansy's Garden. And I'll be here again next week with This Week in Review. Next week's program will be followed by a rebroadcast of Fortune Sounds taped earlier this summer. Stay tuned now for the Coasters from the Sand and Sea Festival. For This Week in Review, I'm Dave Cooper. Good night.